emergency departure, and looks like there's a weather system coming through just north of Roswell. You can see this whole system here, and you got some lightning here, and even right around Roswell. And even if by some miracle this dissipates or thins out and we get through it, there's like this whole new, development over Albuquerque. So, you know, not to mention the whole reason we're going is for hot air balloons. So I don't know how that's going to affect it either. So we may just have to go. I hope we don't get rained out, but I don't know. We'll see. Oh, we're fully gassed up, about 74 gallons all the way to the brim. And Jasmine's shut down the hangar and she's walking over here. We're gonna take off straight from the fuel pump and go through some of this weather here and probably get up to 8,500 and just hopefully fly right above most of this stuff and then get to Roswell, and we'll see if we can't get to Albuquerque. All in all, our weather was fairly accommodating. There was a lot of clouds, so we had to maintain VFR minimums. We had to be dodging them up and down, left and right, which burned our fuel up. And then when we got to New Mexico and saw real weather, we were running low on fuel, so ATC was kind enough to let us go through restricted airspace to fill up. And we met Bill in Carrizosa, and I gave him a little hard time, but he ended up getting us out of a bind, and it was really pretty cool of him. In Carrizosa Airport, we got diverted because of weather. This is Bill trying to get the gas truck going, and we got two nice little dogs. So as soon as this weather clears, we'll be back on the flight.
We made it.
That was a crazy flight with tons of traffic. I'm tired. Anyway, we're here at Albuquerque.
He did a good job landing.
And now we're in at Atlantic. We're gonna dock the plane, go eat some food.
Somehow we made it by opening day at 4:30 in the morning. Security was kind of a joke on the first day, but I guess they figured that out eventually. So it was really kind of peaceful early in the morning, just seeing the crews, talking to the crews, and seeing these little fireballs, watching them straighten out the balloons and everything that kind of goes into getting these things set up in the first of the morning. A big part about what the morning crew does is just inspect this big balloon. So they get this fan blowing and they get everyone lined up to kind of make sure it can fill up with air, but then they go and inspect it area by area, I guess just what makes sense, just to make sure there's no holes or tears or rips or anything like that. So they actually walk inside it. There's like a guy with a flashlight and the guy's outside, and there's a little bit of crowd control, making sure nobody's stepping on anything, and then before you know it, they're filling this thing with a bunch of hot air and off we go. They line them all up. It's really cool to watch. It's probably my favorite part. They go from sideways to vertical. But they're also on comms, so each of the pilots has a little earpiece that's connected to control, and I guess they tell them when they're supposed to add their gas and not, and then when they actually are going to get to launch here in a minute. This is one of the balloons I really liked to follow. I just thought it was pretty, but it was also just a really cool team, really nice people, and they let us get real close and ask whatever questions we wanted. So I had a lot of favorite parts of this trip, but the contrast of these glowing balloons and the stars was a pretty unique experience in and of itself.
Dawn Patrol 2019 Balloon Fiesta.
Woo!
With one rare exception, the Fiesta is just a hot mess. Everybody's wandering around aimlessly, but every morning there's an opening ceremony and someone's singing the Star-Spangled Banner. When they hit the Home of the Brave note, the balloonists crank their blast valves and ignite their propane burners. Just a really cool way to unite everybody. Unfortunately, the weather from Dawn Patrol was that the winds were blowing to the north, so the balloons were pretty much grounded for the first day, opening day, kind of a bummer. So we decided to go to the Balloon Museum on the south side of the grounds. It's a cool way to sort of chill out and learn about the aviation history of hot air balloons. For example, the first balloons that were launched in the late 1700s, the first travelers were a duck, a rooster, and a sheep. They sent the sheep because nobody knew that mammals could survive at such high altitudes. This just shows you how little was known about aviation at the time and how far we've come since then. So despite all the crazy weather and the delays on the opening day, come the second day, pretty much everybody was launching, and it was just a sight to be seen. Every few seconds they're launching another balloon, and they go in these waves, and man, that was so cool. We are home. That was a long flight. It was like, what, 5 hours?
Yeah.
5-hour flight back, a little choppy up there, but we're happy to be home, and overall awesome trip.
Happy
It's cold.
Turn around, let's do a little launch behind us video. Happy Balloon Fiesta. Happy Balloon Fiesta.